Coming to the first best of 3 for us three here. It's gonna be BOOSTGATE going up against Zone 1. We gotta see whether this Guinevere jungle can actually work out or not, because so far, Gwyn has not been having a good time here in wildcards.
Definitely. This is the rise to the top as well. In Group A, will it be Zone 1 to be able to make it forward, have a little bit of a step in the right direction, or will BOOSTGATE be the ones to pick up that first point up first? We'll see how this all unravels.
Yeah, looking at the movements around the map, it does seem like BOOSTGATE, they want to potentially stop Team Zone from moving around, because I think they want to keep it an honest 1v1, which I'm not so sure which team actually has a better honest 1v1.
Yep. Plastic Blast, one towards Kazooie. That Lantern Flare is so good. Kicking off right, he is very low, but he has that passive that's going to save him too. So yeah, a bit of a quarrel in the river, but it's all fine.
Just very 50-50, right, in terms of that mid trio.
Yeah, towards Kid, but it's going to be Wactor. Absorbing all the damage, the Void Crystal is so good on zoning out the players of BOOSTGATE.
Yeah. Right now, looking at the builds here, Rupture for the Jushin, and looking at the build for Kazooie, are we going to see a damaged Gwyn? You know, something with concentrated energy into full defense. Maybe Genius 1 has been buffed up.
Yep.
It's possible. Maybe they're relying on that early game, right? They want to utilize that early game pressure. Unfortunately, it feels like the trades aren't as in favor of BOOSTGATE Esports as intended. Team Zone seems to be being able to clear a lot quicker, perhaps because of the Eve as well, but we do see some rotations coming through. That's Bright and Exy in some action.
That's okay, just wait around a Turtle, man. Turtle, you jump, get 3 people, boom, you win.
They're going to wait for the timing too, because the Gwyn hits level 4. Spatial Migration into the Violent Requiem is a one-shot, one-chance type of deal, and just like that, it's going to be the first blood on towards Bright, secured by Wactor. They have Prio on the Turtle now.
Well, there it is, right? That damage coming through, they finally are able to get a little bit of a foothold in the early game, despite the trades in the mid that we saw earlier on. It looks like they want a little bit more. Bankai.
It's taken down so low. I think it's going to be fine. That's just a zoning type of deal to deal with the Turtle and not have Bankai disrupt their process of getting that objective.
Yeah, I feel like it's more about emotional damage, you know, just making sure
emotional.
that, you know, lower their confidence a bit, don't move too far up so that they have more forward momentum, you know, like Kaiba said in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have 51% of the business, then you're better.
That makes sense.
Something like that. Something like that.
Well, look at the movement from BOOSTGATE, though. They're invading the orange side of the jungle. Mountain Shocker connects on towards Identity. That's going to be the Jushin gun. The chessboard wide open for the Eve. Bright pops Revitalize. He's going to be fine with the sustain given. But that is an important kill for Zone. But that kill is given to K as well, the CC.
Yeah, Identity was a little bit too forward there, considering her sub-emblems or his sub-emblems as well. The Rupture, right? You're not as fast, you're not as mobile, and you don't even have the tenacity as well to defend early game with that amount of aggression. But all in all, BOOSTGATE Esports are still in the game. What?
Violent Requiem to the Crimson Beacon as well. Gap closers galore in the purple buff jungle. And another pickoff for BOOSTGATE Esports.
I like that they didn't... Oh, hold on. Okay, Exy takes a bit of damage, but I like that there's no hesitation, right? The moment the Violent Requiem hits, all right. Identity now with the changes of Jushin actually does quite enough damage. So I like that they did not hesitate, they just go for it. And speaking of, it looks like Kazooie is going to build more defense. It's really just on that emblem setup where he makes a bit more damage.
That's the first item Sky Piercer for RX, so I think BOOSTGATE Esports kind of want to brawl it out quickly. He has a Fury Hammer to compensate for more damage. But yeah, that first item Sky Piercer is actually very ballsy, especially after the Granger nerfs that he received.
They're banking on that, right? Because as we get to the late game, you see Kenny on the Eve, you know, scaling. You can see YSS as well, scaling. And in that 5v5, when things don't seem as messy, it seems like Team Zone has a little bit more to say, right? Because of the AoE options that they have in their build. That's another pickoff.
Bankai, that's going to be the AOG to disrupt the players of BOOSTGATE Esports, but the liftoff is good. Exy gets Bankai. That is an important member to be taken out as this objective unrolls in front of our eyes. Exy will try to zone out the players of Zone. However, Bright is close by. They're going to jump in from Wactor, misses the kick onto the back. The Mountain Shocker towards Exy, but he buys time, and the eyes price of the prize is going to be that turtle. Second one for BOOSTGATE.
Yeah, look at Walker trying to get one. Right, able to get away, but gets pulled back in.
Oh, the damage is good. Kazooie, good traceless from Zexora. And now they're going to turn him around in the back. The engage coming in from Team Zone. Oh no, BOOSTGATE, they might bit off more than they can chew. It's going to be K arriving just in the nick of time to try to take down XC. But so far, BOOSTGATE, they will have to back off. That is a slight loss for them.
Yep. Having the Malaysian playstyle after getting a major objective, you go for a fight.
A little greedy.
Just a little bit. But we can definitely see the idea from BOOSTGATE here, which is basically to constant pressure everywhere. It doesn't matter, even down here.
Yep, that Mountain Shocker will not quite be enough to take down XC.
Yeah, so right now, I really want to talk back here because RX does have the most amount of damage at this point, right? And I feel like even with the nerfs onto Granger, as long as Granger gets 40 stacks on that Sky Piercer, it's going to be good. BOOSTGATE at this point really does seem like they just want to create as much space as they can, allowing Identity as well as RX to get those items. But again, it's really about controlling yourself. Yes, you get all this adrenaline, you're feeling good, the dopamine hit is there, you're moving forward. But sometimes, like a good friend of mine once said, pull it back in. You don't want to get fired.
No, I agree. Because
yes,
even earlier on, no, I was agreeing about something different. Wait a second.
Unbreakable into the RWM. It's going to zone out the players of BOOSTGATE Esports. Identity has to lift off. That's going to be a good Jeet Kundo, but no follow-up. So that's going to be it.
Back to the earlier point. I agree, because even earlier in that match that we saw with Zeta, that was like a 7,000, 8,000 gold lead, and they completely threw it, right? So at this point, BOOSTGATE Esports, despite how dominant and how aggressive they've been playing for the past 7 minutes, there's no gold lead yet. So it's still very 50-50. It's still anyone's game. This is going to be more important with how they execute it, because there you go. That's a move.
Oh, misses the Fallen Requiem, the Mountain Shocker. On towards Wactor. He is gone and whacked. However, K gets deleted, and now it's going to be Team Zone turning. The tides are around. They get 3 kills. All for themselves as the Traceless chases down XC. Zexora has to be Traceless again. Back to a safer place. XC tanks and eats all the damage, but that is very worth it for Team Zone.
And I think this just shows how simple of a draft Team Zone really had. They have it's very hard for them to make a mistake. We saw Cho Walker there basically botching the kick, not having a good angle. So, and then going back old school, right? The combo between Gato Kacha as well as the CC, the Gato CC, the CC Kacha. I pull you in and then my guy jumps on you. It's a good and easy combo. So BOOSTGATE at this point, having this 5v5 team fight is really not working out for them. They need some kind of pickoff.
They're forcing the Lord as well. This is just going to be an invitation for Team Zone to crawl out, shrouded in secrecy. The Mountain Shocker again on towards XE. He has the Consecration to reposition. The RWM zones out. Team Zone as well. The left off is good. On towards Bankai. He's going to run around with the Purify as well, repositioning. Revitalize Pop. They're going to resustain to prepare themselves for a second round, but everyone backs off.
So to talk on that note that Lafel just mentioned, I agree. It's either they don't go for a full 5v5 or they find a way to utilize the team's resources to bait the resources from Team Zone first, right? Maybe that's something similar as to what we saw earlier on, just right now happening. But if Wactar goes in and commits, it will be very difficult for them to look for anything, but it seems like they still want to go for it.
Yeah, Wactar is just taken down solo. The kick connects, but that's going to be Zexora connecting onto the Lord. But they go even deeper to the purple buff jungle. Xe repositioned, Violent Requiem not committed. Bankai has to run away. That's a win for Team Zone. A slight one at that, but Identity gets Bankai as well. 2-0. And my, oh my, Team Zone walks away with the Lord.
That's a 2-for-1 trade though, right?
I don't think it's worth it. You want to know why? The kill didn't go over to Granger.
Oh.
Right? If you gave him that Sky Piercer stack, 100% worth it. The fact that you went over to Identity, it's kind of nothing. What you did was delay the game. If they were able to give the kill over to RX, that's a win condition. So it's one of those situations where it's like, yes, it's good. You know, beggars can't be choosers, but you really wanted those kills over to RX.
But Team Zone, they couldn't push with the Lord.
can't. I mean, XC is you're just being a nuisance. But
Is
I
it
think
just
another.
like economic advantage? Because technically they lost a turret instead in the top side.
But look at them go up top. It's gonna be locked down towards XC. He's taken down, but he's gonna survive. A Uranus, as beefy as ever. Crimson Beacon popped, Identity wants to re-engage. Kazue watches the jump into the back line. RX is here to gun down the players of Team Zone. But look at Zexora in the back, just dancing on the verge of death. BOOSTGATE Esports are losing their grip of this game. The jump in with the falling star moon. Bankai eyes the prize on towards RX, but Wactor with the kick onto the back. Pops the Purify, is gonna be Bankai. Zexora again, unstoppable. He is insane, but BOOSTGATE Esports completely confused on what they have to do. XE has to bite the bullet, but thankfully he saves himself.
Let me just say, Gwyn users are not having a good time now, right? Because even if the jump connects, you're put in a very dangerous spot. And BOOSTGATE, they committed a lot over to Kenny in that previous fight. But in the RWM, you can take damage, but you're immune-ish. You're not able to move the Eve away. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like they're playing their comp like a team fight comp when they really should just play like a pick-off comp. And the problem is, not enough damage for a pick-off.
Exactly. Not enough damage as well because the Guinevere has that tank build, RWM open, RX has that Rhapsody, or rather the that Sonata connecting. But yeah, the lack of damage, right? The Granger has no kills, has no stacks. The Guinevere opts for a much more defensive build with that Brute Force breastplate. K looks for the assassination, but that's gonna be Zexora taking down XC, his first death swallowed bitterly.
So what's the idea now for BOOSTGATE, right? Because they were banking on a snowball, right? For sure, right? With the way that they were playing in the early game, with the way that they picked up the Sky Piercer very early for RX. But at this point, does someone need to shift in terms of itemization?
I think what they need is for the Gato Kacha to just randomly ult inside the base. And then you kick someone towards a turret. And then give those 2 kills over to RX. And then by some kind of miracle, he gets 2 more kills. That's 4 stacks.
Okay.
And then...
And then?
And then what?
And they just don't throw.
I think it's too late to kind of like, you know,
I mean, we saw
re-itemize.
we saw Gatot like ulting the mid lane twice yesterday and twice.
And that was
died.
Wactor, by the way.
Oh, right. Well,
So that's what I also wanted to talk about, right? Earlier on, I was like, you know what? Wactor on his show, he looks pretty good, because he was able to win on the show yesterday. And then we see, you know, this happening. So I couldn't bring that up as a point. Poor Wactor, man. Not having a good day either on the Gatot or the show.
Well, they're going to siege down bottom. It's all Team Zones for the taking. BOD and Divine Blade completed for both the Yi Sin and the Yi. Otherwise, we'll just give Team Zone that inch. Push into the base. That'll gun down the players of BOOSTGATE Esports. Up top, the Lord is pushing in. Traceless back from Zexora. To play and approach this in a bit more safer way. But I think for now, Team Zone, they want to take a breather.
yep. RWM used and RX gets caught. Gato jumps in. Can they get a kill? Probably not.
Yep. They won't, but XC will bite so much damage. The Purify buffed by Bankai. They're gonna siege onto the bottom side turret as well. Zexora, one last hit, not enough. And now they want to go in. That's gonna be the Violent Requiem. It's a turn around. The left off as well. They get one, but that's just it. It's a trade for Kazue and Bankai. BOOSTGATE Esports, they keep the crystal intact.
Like, you can see it in a way that they kept the crystal intact, or like they lose all inhibitor turrets. Are you half full, half empty type?
Whoa! XE
Whoa.
just died kind of type. For me, I just buy a new glass.
They'll buy a new glass.
Yeah.
What about a jug of water? You know, it kind of like contains all of it. So not half, not full as well. You know what I mean?
So next game, maybe? Because, I mean, we're 14 minutes in. They have almost a 9,000 gold lead. We're getting to that point where Exora is starting to hurt a lot more. Kenny's starting to hurt a lot more. Is Bankai building a damage or like the usual Esme build? I can't see. Yeah.
Well, Bankai has a talisman. So, yeah, you have a bit of a cooldown reduction and that magic damage too.
Ooh, RX is 7 in terms of player damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lucky number
maybe-
7.
Yeah, maybe next game. You know, maybe next game.
I think it's over.
If Wactor can kick someone into the crystal, they might still lose, but they can get one extra kill.
So stat padding, basically.
Yeah. Because you know a wise man once said, never give up sometimes.
I think you should give up when the damage is that big. And there goes Kazue. Goodbye. The AOG will not connect onto anyone. But Zexora jumping in aggressively with the Traceless. The RWM opens up. It's saved by Kenny. But look at the players of BOOSTGATE Esports scampering away to the base. The crystal is exposed. Falling Star moved onto the back. RX can't do nothing but watch and probably play his violin. It's over. Team Zone gets game 1.
And they won with 10,000 gold. That was a dominating win. Not something we expected coming in from, honestly, BOOSTGATE, because yesterday they looked amazing, but this time they look pretty shaky. And